with a vintage Drexler move. What a show by the Clyde.
Oh, Robinson blocking Johnson and got it back again. Oh, my, the Admiral.
Antonio Hart. Oh, what a play.
Oh, Pip, have mercy.
When I came into the league, there were so many guys who were so good at what they did, and guys that you wouldn't even think of, you hardly even heard of, but you see a guy like a Ricky Pierce or a Vinnie Johnson, and those guys, unbelievable shooters. I mean, hit a mid-range shot with you in their face. You know, you play against an Alex English, and he looks like he's moving in slow motion, but he's scoring nonstop. Where do these guys come from?
Blackman.
Yeah, exactly. You think, where do these guys come from? There's so many guys who are so good at their job. That was the thing in the NBA. Coming from college, there's no way you can be prepared for that. And the game is on the line. You got Robert Horry standing on the side, and you see him shooting it, and you just, it's not like any other level you ever played before, but as soon as he's shooting, you're thinking, oh my gosh, he's going to make that shot, It's almost inevitable every time.
I played with Robert in Houston, but before I played with him, I played against him for a couple of years. But when I played with him, I'm thinking, Robert's a solid player, good defender. I played with him, and let me tell you something. Every time I got in trouble, my guy beat me, Robert would be just like having David Robinson on the team. What? In the fifth row. And then you got Akeem behind him. I was like, boy, I love this team.
I
was a better defender, Scotty.
It was funny because sometimes dreaming out both be like this, like, you going to do it or you going to do it? I'm like, and then a lot of times we didn't block the shot because we were afraid of running in each other. But it was so many great memories. I remember one time we was playing you in Portland. I said, I'm going to get Clyde stuff because I know he's going to do that spin with his head down and do that finger roll. Man, I dang near put my arm out of socket trying to swing at it. And the ball just said, shoot, right over my face. Like, how in the heck did he see me? He spent it just a little bit more to get it over me. I was like, come on, man, I'm going to get it one time. Because he had all these moments for me playing against you great legends. I remember coming in, playing against Scotty in Chicago and Vernon Maxwell, and you know how close y'all were, always talking trash. I'm like, Vernon, leave Scotty alone, man, because I got to guard him. He ain't got to guard him. So, but it was just for me, I respected San Antonio so much. And with David, you remember, we had just got you on that trade. And back then, you had to play teams in your conference 5 times. Man, we couldn't beat San Antonio for nothing.
They had our number.
Man, and then, hate to say it, big fella,
y'all got us.
y'all got us that year.
And I thought we were going to get that, and then that game 5, and I remember it being so close and coming down the stretch. And I don't know how many shots you made during the game, but that one you made the last shot, the big shot. That was it wasn't a 3, but
he did that against
every
time he did it, guys would act like it's the first time he's done it.
But it seems like
that all year.
And that's the NBA. It seems like the percentage. It can be that good of a percentage, but then. Every time down the stretch, the guys who have the confidence and who will hit the shot, they do it every single time.
We can definitely talk about the 92 finals. Have a chance to play with a guy that, I idolized young, and had a chance to play against Clyde in the finals. And I must say I was very afraid going into that series because it was that moment really where Clyde was probably one of my biggest challenges for as a small forward in the game, a guy that played a lot like me, a lot of speed, athleticism, can handle the ball, make plays. So it was a big challenge for me to be able to have to run up against a guy like Clyde. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great memories that I take from playing against that Portland team, especially against Clyde.
I tell you, when you play against these guys, you see them on TV, you see them in the All-Star games, you know them, but until you play against them, and when it really counts, you have a different respect for their game. You know they're good, but when they do stuff throughout the course of the game, you go, wow. As a player, you're sitting there going, man, that was a sweet move. So when guys made great moves, I had to keep myself from laughing, because I love the game. I'm watching every single thing that happens out there on the floor. Yeah. So I'm going to Scotty, and we say, well, all right, game plan to stop Michael, but you got to watch Scotty because he's going to go to the boards, he's going to beat you in transition. He's a great defender, right? Man, Scotty would do stuff offensively, and I go, Coach, you're not scouting Scotty right. He's got moves like Michael offensively. You need to give him more respect. No. So when you play against these guys, they always got 2 or 3 moves that you don't plan for. Now, David, I remember David when I played against him his rookie season. David was 7'2", quick as a guard, and I drove to the basket. When you're penetrated like we are, you always find out where's the shot blocker. You're not worried about the guy guarding you. Where's the shot blocker? So I'm beat. I think it was Sean Elliott or Willie Anderson. I'm going to beat them. I thought I had him beat, but David was over there on the left end of the top of the key. So I said, I got this. I go up to make my little regular finger roll, and the ball ended up on the 10th row. I go, how did he get way from over there? I said, there are only a couple guys in the world who could do that. How did he do that? And that's when I said, you know what? This young fella's got some range. You better be careful.
Jordan the steal, tight ropes the sideline, all the way to the hoop for the dunk.
Michael Jordan, I want to go say hi to Michael, right? I go up and shake his hand. He says, I'm going to dunk on you, big fella. And I was thinking, what? This guy didn't even know me. I was like, where did that come from? So I'm like, if you even come close to the basket, man, I'm going to take you out of the air. He's like, nope, I've dunked on all the other big fellas, and you're next. You know, that was kind of my welcome to the NBA moment.
Pippen comes away with it, and the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship. Clyde the Glide finally gets the ring.
He's got it. He's got his ring. The San Antonio Spurs win their first ever NBA championship.
The San Antonio Spurs are NBA champions once again. Robert Horry now with 7 championship rings.
First of all, I got to say, when you play this game, you're lucky enough to be on a team that can compete for a title. You could do everything right, and you could have 40 points, 20 rebounds, 10 blocks, 10 assists, 10 steals. But if your teammate misses 2 free throws, you don't win that title. And so when you're looking at a team sport, you can't go by individual titles. I truly believe that because of that concept. It's not golf or tennis. But if you're lucky enough to be on a team that's good enough to win, it doesn't get any better. My first title, it took me almost 12 years. Been to the finals 2 or 3 times. Finally got it done. Robert was my teammate. You guys had won it the year before and came back, joined you guys the second year. Didn't think we were going to get it done. We were the 6th seed in the Western Conference, which is tough. A lot of teams won 60 games. And so to go through that on the road, because most of the teams we faced, we were the road team, beating everybody at home. But that was tough. And to go on and win that year, 1995, that was the best year ever.
Yeah, that was a great year. People always ask me, what's your favorite title? I said that because we had to go through Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal. We had to go through all these.
Penny Hardaway, all those guys.
Look, that's 50 greatest players, you know? Look,
exactly.
right there. So
on the road.
Yeah, on the road. That was one of my greatest championships. But the other one was, I felt like we had a special opportunity when I was with the Lakers to sweep throughout the playoffs. Man, we swept first round, second round, third round. First game of the finals, we lose to the 76ers, and that kind of hurt me because I felt like if we'd have swept them, we'd have had a chance to do something that would never be done again, to sweep everybody in the playoffs. But those 2 championships that I won were my favorite because if you look back, 2 great things were accomplished. Winning on the road, we did in Houston, and almost sweeping everybody, only losing 1 game in the playoffs. Those were my elite championships.
Out of 7.
Yeah, out of 7.
You got the memories.
He got a lot of memories. I don't have quite as many to choose from, but the first one is real special, and I think the first one though for me was almost a little surreal because you're playing so long,
trying to get there,
trying to get there so long, and there's so few teams that get it,
right?
And so when we won it in New York, and I remember sitting there after the game in the hotel and just thinking, it's over.
No more games.
Yeah,
and we're on the
1
team
minute I'm
standing.
playing, you're at this high level, you're playing and competing, and then the next minute it's all over, and it took I think that whole summer to sink in that here we're the world champions now.
There's nothing more special than walking off your last game winning it, though.
Oh, that's the
I'll
best.
tell you what's even better. When you wake up, you go through all that, and you wake up the next morning, and then you realize, hey, we just did it.
You wake up in a hotel room.
Exactly.
That's a great feeling.
That's the greatest feeling ever.
I remember in 1991 we won our first title, and playing those first 2 games, we lost the first game against the Lakers, and the 91 season, after we ended up beating the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, you know, that was our championship there. We felt like we had beat the best team. We had sort of got, you know, the monkey off our back, and we came in with a lot of confidence, a lot of arrogance, playing home court advantage. We got the Lakers coming in. We knew they were a little agey team, so we
getting older, huh?
Yeah, we felt good, and they came in that first game, man, and Magic did something, threw Perkins ball out on the three. He hit a three, and you know,
big game.
They end up dropping, and you just see Magic doing this. Settle down, settle down. And you know, from there it was like our backs were against the wall then, and we ended up winning the next 4 games and going out and sweeping LA in their home court. That was probably one of the greatest feelings for me, to be able to win on the road, because I think winning on the road makes it, I don't want to say easier, but you come together more as a team, because you know there's no one there for you. You know, it's just about the 12 guys that's there together.
Yeah, you against the world.
Right.
You can bond.
Which is which is the greatest feeling, because that's really where it all starts. Even in training camp, you know, you end up practicing with those guys, whether you like them or not. Before that season is over, you're gonna love them, and that's really what it's all about.
And it's also great too when you're that next season, every single game before it gets started, and they say, "And now introducing your world champions." And then, you know, that's a good feeling, man.
The good thing is you get that, but then the bad thing is you get everybody.
Yeah, they're all hyped up. They want to play. Oh yeah,
all season long.
See, y'all did the back-to-back things. We didn't quite make the back-to-back thing, but you know, it is tough. That's, you know, that's the challenge, and that's what, you know, that's what makes you great.